Traditionally, when an educator is teaching social skills to a student in middle school, there are different tactics and strategies that can be employed. So one of them might be role play. And role play would be possibly just between the teacher and the student. So think about the amount of time the teacher has to spend preparing for the role play and executing it. But if you're having a situation where you need multiple people in the room, then he or she, the teacher's got to engage other students. So then they have to be taught what this student who has this need needs and how to help them. And so what you're doing, and it has to happen, but in many cases, what we can do is sort of help the student get over the first learning curve with that so that they're not thinking in that small group situation, oh, what is Johnny thinking of me? Now Johnny knows that I struggle. I mean, he kind of knew already, but now he really knows because he's helping me practice it. And all I'm thinking about is what Johnny's thinking of me instead of learning the social skill and practicing the social skill. And then the amount of time it takes to pull all those people together, teach them, practice over and over and over again until that student feels like they actually have it. All of that is what we're trying to put into the virtual reality simulation so that the teacher doesn't have to spend time doing all of that at the get-go. But rather, what's going to happen is the student goes in, independently practices on their own, learns it, gets confident, hopefully, in the understanding of it. So then when they do get in a small group situation to do a role play, they at least understand the skill that they need to practice and how to possibly go about that. So we're hoping that it kind of decreases the amount of anxiety that goes into working on social skills, frees up some time for the educator to be able to let the student go independently work on that, and then really have some cool conversations about that interactivity because it takes the student sort of out of the environment, and you can have an example where you're just showing the student, this is what we need. This is the type of skill that we're seeing. This is how it looks in the real world successfully. And now you practice and you do that as well. So in the next iteration of voice, we're actually going to have more of video modeling. So right now what happens is the narrator comes over the top and explains what they need to see. Sometimes we have some pictures that pop up. But with the first iteration of voice and the technology that we had available to us, we didn't have the capabilities that we do now, which is to now add a video of the exact scenario that that student's practicing with two other people doing it. So you take the student out of the performance aspect and just let them watch and then have them go in and do it. So we're trying to scaffold social skill learning so that they have a better understanding of how to do it. But then predominantly what we want to see is them doing it successfully.